Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video we're going to be doing a very exciting product review. Now this is a product that myself and a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time, and that is the long awaited, highly anticipated V-Line N-Class diesel electric locomotive in HO scale from Auscision Models. Now, for the first time ever in one of my reviews, I not just have one locomotive to look at, I also got another one. So as you can see, we've got two locomotives to take a look at in today's video, and basically in this video I'm going to give you my honest opinions on what I think these models are like. I'm going to go through what you get in the box, point out the details, and of course we'll run the locomotives around the club layer, because obviously my layer is nowhere near ready to accept track, and then of course we'll come back at the end of the video and I'll give you my final thoughts and conclusions on what I think they're like. Anyways, so if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. That way you can stay up to date for more future model railway review videos. Anyways, I'm super excited, so let's get straight into today's unboxing. Alrighty, so starting off the unboxing part of this video, so the ones that I've got, as you can see, I've got two here. I have got N451 in V-Line orange and grey. This is called City of Portland. This is actually DCC sound equipped, hence the white box. And this one here is N475 City of Moe in orange and grey. This is just DC, but DCC ready, hence the grey box. So just taking a look at the box art, pretty much they're both the same, just different colours obviously. So yep, standard Auscision packaging. So I reckon what we'll do, we'll take a look at, I'm going to unbox 451 on camera, then I'll probably just do 475 off camera. But whatever you see on this one, in terms of what you get, will most likely be the same in this one. If there's any similarities, I will mention it. But anyways, now as usual from Auscision, there is shrink wrap over the model box. So just get my knife and just cut that. Alright. Okay. Here we have our N-Class locomotive instructions. So this goes through all the sound features, I think. Yep, all the sound features on the back here if you've got a DCC sound model. And just some, I guess, model features, and also how to do things like remove the body. So yep, make sure you read that. We also get a exploded parts diagram, which is pretty standard. So yep, got that. And something also we get is this. So I've never received one of these in a Auscision Loco. I guess this is a new thing that they're doing, but I'll have a bit of a read about it off camera. But yep, you get that now. And now for the part we've all been waiting for, and that I've been waiting for. I can also see they've updated this. They put a nice arch in here so you get your finger in. Oh wow, okay, there it is. I can see they've updated the foam packaging too, so you've actually got a slot to get your fingers in to remove the model, which is very nice. That was actually very easy to remove. Now, I don't see any broken parts in the box, which is always nice. So yeah, there it is, N451, City of Portland. So let's remove these foam pieces here. These protect the handrails. Oops. So yeah, there we have it. N451, City of Portland. Very nice. So I reckon what I'll do, I'll unbox 475 off camera, because I'm going to guess that what I got in the box of this one is going to be exactly the same in the other one. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then we'll put the two side by side and we'll take a look at both of them together. Alrighty, here they are, both out of the box and both side by side. Now, one thing I should also point out before I forget is when I unboxed the DCC sound model, you would have seen that little warning card. With the DC models, you don't get that, so that is just something to be aware of. Although, unfortunately, when I unboxed 475, which is the DC model, I noticed some things that I did not like. For example, if I just zoom in here on the cab, you can actually see there's some scuffing or some scratches on the cab, which is really annoying. And if I move the model forward, I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but yeah, it's picking it up alright. You can actually see a little bit of paint, I think it looks like paint chipping or scratch on that radiator fan. That's just really disappointing. You know, you pay all this money for new models and they come damaged. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing in my opinion. Now thankfully it's only just on one. 451 is absolutely fine, no damage at all. But still, a little bit frustrating. But anyways, as far, I think that is the only bit of damage that I can see on the models. I can't really see anything else. But I know I will be getting these models weathered, be it by myself or somebody else. So hopefully those can get covered over, but still, it is a bit of an annoyance. But anyways, I'm going to look past that now, and let's take a look at the model features. Alright, so taking a look at the model features now. So this model features state-of-the-art 5-pole skew-wound motor designed specifically for Auscision models, twin brass flywheels, all-wheel drive and electrical pickup, metal handrails and plastic handrails, see-through metal etched grills, detailed cab interior with painted driver and fireman figures, operating red and white marker lights at both ends, operating headlights at both ends, operating front and rear number box lights, operating ditch lights at both ends on some models only, 4 micro switches on the chassis to operate the lights on DC, RP25 blackened metal wheels, scale size metal knuckle couplers with knuckle spring, factory painted and decorated with laser sharp printing, DCC ready with 21 pin socket on DC version, sound ready with Auscision Vandersound speaker enclosure for ease of fitting sound on DC version, will operate on code 70, 83 and 100 rail, recommended minimum radius 18 inches. Now the sound features, sound equipped version, DCC sound features, EMD 12-645E3C engine, startup, idle, running notch 1 to 8 and shut down, Leslie Super Typhoon RS5T air horns, town and country sounds, high and low idle, dynamic brakes, compressor, cut in and cut out, head end power unit, brake squealing, coupler release and crash, sanding valve, radiator cooling fans, handbrake apply and release, bell, guard's whistle, handy when running passenger cars. So yeah, there's all the model features and sound features. Now I read those directly off of the manual included, so that's how I got all that information. So anyways, that's the model features. Now let's take a look at the, let's actually take a good closer look at these models and point out the details. Okay, so taking a look at the details now, close up. So starting off on the front of the model, we have metal scale knuckle couplers, we have air hoses, we have the coupler lift bar, brass coupler lift bar. We also do have, looks like the MU cable sockets on this end. We have metal etched windscreen wipers, we have metal handrails, we have a really nicely printed on V-line logo. We have the lights up here and the number boards that also light up. We have the brass etched horn, and then of course the brass etched horn cover up here. Now if we take a look at the side of the model, we have a very nice wealth of separately applied parts. So we've got some handrails here. Now these are plastic, yeah, they're definitely plastic. Now normally I'm not a fan of plastic handrails, but as long as they're nice and strong, then I suppose I could, you know, let it pass. And you know, they're not broken as well, which is also a nice thing. They're nice and straight, they're not warped, which is good. We have the number board and the nameplate there. They're actually brass etched, which is really nice. They're done really well. We have the mirrors, you can see the driver and the cab of the loco there. And then we have some very nice paint work. I should also point out that where the orange meets the grey, it's very clean, very crisp, very sharp. It's done very nicely. We have a wealth of separately applied brass etched grills, which are looking very nice. We have the V-line logo there, that's been very nicely applied. And then taking a look at the underframe detail as well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the staff exchanger? Let me know in the comments. The bogies look very nice. We have a ladder here. It is just plastic, but you know, as long as it's nice and strong, that's the main thing. We have a nice detailed fuel tank, and then you know, some nice separate bogie details and pipe work. Now if we come around to this side here, same deal as before. We've got the nice brass, not brass, we've got the nice metal coupling here. We've got the MU hoses here, and then we've got the air hoses, we've got the coupler lift bar, the windscreen wipers, the metal etched windscreen wipers. Got the nicely painted and applied handrail on the front here, and then the horn, which is also very well done. And then this side, same sort of deal. A wealth of separately applied grills on the side. They're brass etched. Lots of nice underframe detailing. The fuel tank looks very nice. And then just quickly taking a look at the top here. Some nice separately applied brass etched parts. Like for example, I believe these are the air conditioning units. Correct me if I'm wrong. The actual grills they look to be brass etched. And we've got some brass etched fans there. Got another grill here, and then some more brass parts. So yeah, overall, very nice looking locomotive, and in fact, very nice looking locomotives, because I've got two. But yeah, so far this review is looking very promising. Alright, so it's now time to do the running part of this video. Now obviously I can't run them here at home because my layout is nowhere near ready to accept track, but we're going to take them down to the Model Railway Club instead, which is the Australian Model Railway Association Victoria branch in Glen Iris, Melbourne. We're going to take them down there, we'll take both of them down there, put some passenger cars behind them, and basically see how they run. And then of course I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts and conclusions on what I personally think these models are like. So let's take them down to the club and see how they run. Okay, so you all have seen how they run. Now something I should point out right away is I know I said at the start of the video that I'm going to be taking them to the club, but unfortunately the club, the session that I was going to go to today ended up getting cancelled because no one was available to run the session basically. So I just had to make do with setting up a little track here at home on the layout, so hopefully those running shots turned out alright. But I'll try get some more footage of them in the future, actually running around a layout properly with a decent load behind them. But anyways, that will be for a future, I guess. So now on to my final thoughts and conclusions. So I'm going to start off with the positives as usual, and then we'll work my way into the negatives. So starting off with the positives here, it's great that they're finally out. It's been a bit of a wait, but like I said, it's nice that they are finally out and they're off to customers basically. So I'm pretty happy with the two that I've got so far. Detail wise, very nice. All the detail is correct and it all looks very nice. The livery application is very nice, and I don't see any paint defects, like for example where the orange meets the grey. It's nice and sharp, there's no paint bleed or anything or paint fade. It all looks really good. The weight is also fairly decent. It's not as heavy as some other locos that Auscision have released in the future, but released in the past, sorry, but the weight is still pretty adequate. I can't do a true haulage test until I actually take them to the club, and then we'll know how much they can actually haul, but just picking them up, they seem pretty decent in terms of weight. I also like the addition of the driver figures in the cab, as well as all the separately applied parts. It all looks very, very nice. Now, let me talk about the negatives, because there's a few things that I need to talk about. So like I said, there's a few negatives and I do need to talk about them, and these negatives are actually to do with quality control issues. Now if we just take this one away, 451 is generally pretty good. There's only one quality control issue that I can find, which is on this side, I believe it is, yeah, this side. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but this number board here is actually a bit on an angle, so it's not exactly straight. And I've also just noticed actually the City of Portland name there is also not very straight. But other than that, I don't really have anything. The quality control is actually pretty decent on this one here. It's N475, which has the most quality control issues. For example, actually I've just noticed, not sure how well the camera's picking, actually yeah, the camera picks that up alright, there's actually scratches on the side of the cab here. Hopefully I can get that into some light. Hopefully you can see that there's scratches on the side of the cab here. The number plate here, that is, there you go, getting shot there, the number plate here, that is also not straight. And then if we come around to this side here, you can see that there are scratches in the roof here. And then obviously this number plate is also not straight, and if you look at the City of Moe nameplate here, there's actually glue residue. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but there is definitely glue residue there. This horn, as you can see, it is bent down. Like if I just compare it to the other one, you can see that the other one is nice and straight, whereas this one is bent down. And then if we look on the top here, you can just see that speck of white there. That is also a little bit of paint that has chipped off the model when it's been in transit to my house. These sorts of things really, really annoy me, especially given the price of these models. You know, they're not cheap models, so I expect them to be absolutely perfect when they arrive, not have quality control issues. Now I know, like for example, I posted these two locomotives on some model railway Facebook groups, and a few people said send them back, or send this one back. because of the scratches. Honestly, I'm not going to do that. You know, I've already waited long enough for them. I don't really want to send them back. Now, one last nitpick that I really need to talk about, and it's something that a few other people have talked about, and it's not actually to do with the model itself, but if I just put these at the back here, it's actually to do with Auscision's pre-ordering. So these locomotives and all their stuff that you can pre-order through them, there's no online pre-ordering. It's all done via mail-away pre-order forms. Basically, they look like this. So on the back here, this is for the 49 class. You have a list of which ones they have on offer, and then all you do, you just fill out your details, so name, address, that sort of thing, email, phone number, and then obviously you do your payment details down here. You then put it in an envelope and then send it off to Auscision. Now, mail-away pre-order forms are old and outdated. I think personally Auscision really need to update their pre-ordering system. Now, I know you can email them your pre-order, but it's not the same as online pre-ordering. You still have to print this out, fill out all your details, scan it on your printer to put it onto your computer, and then email it to them. So it's still a bit of an annoying task, I guess you could say. It's not exactly streamlined like what other companies have been doing. Like for example, look at companies like On-Track Models or IDR Models. They do online pre-ordering, like it's fully online. For example, I've actually got the new IDR Models Victorian Railways F class on pre-order. I'm not going to say which one that is, you'll just have to wait for the review on that. And just ordering that was so simple. It was choose the one I want, put in my details, so name, address, phone number, email, put in my payment details, and then click pay and submit, and then money gets taken out of my account straight after, and then after the money gets taken out of my account, I get a digital receipt. That should be an industry standard nowadays, to have a fully online pre-ordering system. For example, look at SDS Models. They used to do mail-away pre-orders, but they've now moved on to online pre-ordering, which is fantastic. I just really wish Auscision would jump on board with online pre-ordering. It's just going to make pre-ordering the model so much easier and also quicker, because at least with me, I don't know about you guys watching this, but what I've found with the last few models that I've pre-ordered from Auscision, I've waited upwards of 2 weeks just to get the money taken out of my account. So obviously I've filled out this form with the ones that I want, sent it off to them, and it's taken 2 weeks to get to them. And you know, you always run the risk of that particular model that you filled out that you wanted selling out before your letter gets to Auscision. So I just really wish Auscision would jump on board with online pre-ordering. It's just going to make it so much easier to pre-order models into the future. But anyways, that's my little rant over, and that's my final thoughts and conclusions over. Alright, so that's going to come up to the end of today's review, and just before I forget to mention, if I had to give these a score out of 10, with 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, I'd probably give these a 7 out of 10. I just feel that these have so much more potential. Like, they're a nice model, don't get me wrong. Like, I just feel like these handrails here, these could easily be metal. Like these, I can see these snapping like very easily if you're not careful. And also just the quality control issues is just really annoyed me about these models. But so yeah, 7 out of 10 I think is a reasonable score to give these models. Obviously I still need to run them a little bit more just to see how the running goes, especially with a heavier load upper grade. But when I go to the club next, I will no doubt be bringing both of these models and we can see them running. Anyways, if you have one, what do you think of them? Like I said, I think they're a good model, but there's just a few things that I just wish could have been done a little bit differently. Anyways, I will leave a link to where you can find these models from in the description, so both Auscision Models themselves as well as a couple of retailers, so please check it out if you're interested. Anyways, I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. So I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have one? What do you think of them? And of course, I will see you all in my next video. Take care, stay safe, and of course, have a nice day. Bye everyone.